The modern world is obsessed with comfort and instant pleasure. At all times, we are bombarded by stimuli that promise immediate happiness, but which quickly dissipate. Nietzsche warned that true fulfillment does not come from the absence of suffering, but from overcoming it. The incessant search for pleasure creates comfortable individuals, but those who face challenges with courage become stronger and more resilient. The big question is, do you want to deny life and run away from pain, or affirm it and use it as a tool for growth? According to Nietzsche, there are two paths: denying life, seeking comfort and security, or affirming it, accepting pain as a means for personal evolution. Every great era of humanity, from ancient Greece to the Renaissance, arose from a heroic mindset that embraced adversity as a source of greatness. When we run away from suffering, we miss the opportunity to transcend our limitations and build something meaningful. The key to a powerful life is not avoiding suffering, but finding a purpose for it. Nietzsche stated that the problem is not suffering, but suffering without meaning. If there is a clear purpose, the pain becomes bearable and even desirable. Few people understood this, as well as Viktor Frankl, a Jewish psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. He lost his family, was subjected to forced labor, and lived in inhumane conditions. But he realized something crucial. Those who found a reason to continue, whether it was a love, a dream, or a mission, had a better chance of surviving. In his book, In Search of Meaning, he wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how," a phrase that directly reflects Nietzsche's thought. The fighter who aspires to be a champion sees the training effort as a necessary step to achieve his goal. The artist who wants to create something immortal sees his existential crises as inspiration. And those who run away from pain never find genuine depth and value in their lives. Today's society teaches us that pleasure is the ultimate goal of existence. We are encouraged to avoid any type of discomfort and seek distractions that keep us numb. But, as Nietzsche warned, a life without challenges is an empty life. In The Giver, for example, we see a perfect, suffering-free society that, by eliminating pain, also eliminates beauty, love, and the true meaning of life. Joy and greatness only exist because there is suffering. Without pain, there is no contrast, and without contrast, there is no intensity in the human experience. But this is not just an individual problem, it is a collective problem. Nietzsche saw this tendency as the domestication of man. When a society places safety and equality above all else, it weakens the human spirit. In our quest for a world where no one suffers, we also eliminate the challenges that shape strong individuals. Great civilizations were not born from comfort, but from overcoming adversity. When we eliminate all risks and difficulties, we also eliminate the need for courage, sacrifice, and excellence. We are like caged animals, safe, but without purpose. Nietzsche argued that suffering is not a burden to be borne, but the raw material for overcoming. He introduced the concept of Superman, the man who transcends his own limitations and becomes something greater. This ideal cannot be achieved without struggle. Great individuals do not seek absolute security and equality, but rather challenges and growth. They reject mediocrity and embrace heroism, as they know that true strength comes from adversity. Many see discipline and self-control as negative, but Nietzsche considered them essential to freedom. True freedom is not doing what you want at the moment, but having the power to say no to what weakens us and yes to what strengthens us. Those who live in search of fleeting pleasures are slaves to their own impulses. Self-control is the key to directing suffering constructively, transforming difficulties into learning and growth. The Stoics, such as Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, had a similar view. For them, we do not control external events, but we can control how we react to them. Suffering was inevitable, but letting suffering destroy us was optional. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "If you feel unhappy about something external, it is not the thing itself that affects you. but your interpretation of it, and that you can change. Nietzsche and the Stoics agreed on one essential point: pain only defeats us when we allow it. Those who learn to endure it without victimizing themselves find strength where others see weakness. True greatness comes not from escaping suffering, but from having the courage to face it. Every great feat of humanity was built on suffering. No philosopher, artist, or transformative leader has achieved greatness without facing monumental hardships. Suffering, when used with purpose, becomes a catalyst for evolution. The problem is that many people today suffer without purpose, generating resentment and victimization. When we don't find meaning in our pain, it becomes an unbearable weight. But if we can give it meaning, we can use it as a tool to strengthen ourselves. The way we face suffering defines who we are. Instead of running away from pain, we must accept it as inevitable and learn to use it to our advantage. We must channel our frustration into action, transform discomfort into motivation, and seek voluntary challenges that expand our resilience. We must avoid distractions that only temporarily anesthetize us, such as addictions and empty entertainment. Nietzsche warned that many escape pain with superficial pleasures, but these shortcuts only make them weaker and more powerless in the face of life. Nietzsche was not alone in realizing the dangers of purposeless pleasure. Aldous Huxley, in Brave New World, showed a future where pleasure served as a tool of control. Soma, a drug used to eliminate any discomfort, caused people to live under anesthesia without freedom or their own identity. But without pain, there is also no depth, no meaning. This is the great paradox of absolute comfort. It weakens us. Huxley warned that the real danger was not an oppressive government, but a society that willingly indulges in empty pleasure, exchanging real challenges for superficial distractions. Purposeless entertainment, exaggerated consumerism, and digital addictions do today what Soma did in the book: create a false sense of happiness, but impede personal growth. In the end, both Huxley and Nietzsche agreed on one thing: without struggle, there is no greatness. Pleasure only has value when it comes as a consequence of significant effort. In other words, suffering is inevitable, but what we do with it is a choice. We can use it as a tool for growth or let ourselves be consumed by it. Those who seek only comfort end up suffering for trivialities, while those who choose to suffer for something great find true fulfillment. Nietzsche believed that the biggest difference between an ordinary man and an Übermensch was his relationship with pain. The common man tries to avoid it. The Übermensch transforms it into power. He sees every challenge as a battlefield to become something greater, like a warrior who does not retreat from combat, but advances because he knows that the fight makes him stronger. This is why all greatness is born from adversity. This is the difference between the weak and the strong. Most run away from pain and become slaves to fear, but those who face it with courage transform suffering into strength, loneliness into wisdom, and failure into resilience. The question Nietzsche asks us is, do you want to live like a mediocre being, running away from pain, or like a Superman, using suffering to become something greater? Suffering is not the enemy, but a powerful ally. It should not be avoided, but rather accepted and used as a source of strength. For Nietzsche, the beauty of life lies in overcoming difficulties and building something that goes beyond ourselves. So, the big question that remains is, are you willing to suffer for something that is truly worth it? If you like this video and want to continue exploring topics like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, we always bring reflections that challenge the way you see life. Until next time.